let's get something ready for later. You know, mise en place, everything in its place, might as well. Nothing wrong with, you know, getting ahead for what we might need later. What we will need later. Parchment paper. You need parchment paper. I like this one. Costco sells it in a 2-pack for an excellent deal. Paper Chef is the brand. So there are lots of different brands you can get. This one is my favorite. There's, I think, like a Reynolds brand, and it's got like this weird white crosshatch pattern. It has a weird smell. The brown organic unbleached one doesn't always work. Sometimes it sticks to your bread. We're making sandwich loaves. We are using a 9 by 5 inch pan, yes. And if you try and put less than 400 grams in here, you're gonna have a very short loaf. It's too big. Now, the other size pan that's really common that you'll probably find is 8 by 4. And an 8 by 4 pan doesn't sound like a big difference, but it's huge. A 500 gram batch of dough, 500 grams being your flour weight, will absolutely not fit in a 8 by 4 pan. You'll end up with just the huge muffin top and hardly any bread inside the pan. So the 9 by 5 is great for 400 to 500 gram batches of bread, dough, whatever. And they're cheap. These are like $7. Most supermarkets, like any Kroger, or Vons, or whatever, they usually have these. And I know they're coated in non-stick. No, we need parchment paper. So we're gonna line our pan with parchment paper. I tore off a piece that is, you know, in relation to the pan, maybe, what do we got? 6 inches or so, 4 inches sticking out on each side. And we're using a knuckle. This is a low skill task. You can do it, but we're trying not to tear the paper. So you use a knuckle to press a corner in. You use your other hand to encourage the paper. And we're looking to flatten it. There will be wrinkles, but we want to try and flatten those wrinkles down. I always start with one side. I'll get like a short side kind of anchored in. I'll fold the paper down so it holds onto this little handle, and then I'll turn it around. And just kind of jump over to the other side. Other quarter. You know, honestly, whatever works for you. As long as you get the paper in and you flatten out all the wrinkles, there's no wrong way to do this. And parchment paper is not the same as wax paper or butcher paper. You must use parchment paper. Do not use wax paper. You will ruin your bread. And then, you know, just wrinkle it up onto the sides just to anchor it in place. Flatten it all out. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we do want to try and, you know, flatten out as many of these wrinkles as possible, just to have, you know, kind of a nice crust on the bread when it's done being baked. That's it. Easy, right? So I'm going to do this other one. You don't need to watch me do this. You can do this, right? We're going to line your pans with paper, and we'll just set them off to the side so later when we go to shape our bread, shape our dough, these are ready to go.